Niner fans, how? Whoa, we got a technical difficulty off the jump. What's up, Niner fans? We're so excited. It's game day tomorrow. We're getting technical difficulties. How's it going? What is going on? Terrence Davis, Raphael, 562, Debtopia, Miguel. What's up, my boy? He says Victory Sunday. Let's go. Well, it's not Victory Sunday yet, but Ethan Campbell says Dan Campbell is a moron. Look, I just had a conversation with someone, and they were like, oh my God, respect him for going for it. I get it. Like, look, you went for it, you got it. But the flag, it was unfortunate. You don't go for it again and again and again. I respect that he's gutsy, but there's the law of probability and statistics. The odds of you getting another 2-point conversion is just low. It's just a low probability move. Like, I get it. I respect him for being gutsy. We go for the extra point, tie it, and try to win it in overtime. Like, that's the way I would have looked at it. I get it. He wanted to win or lose, go all out, but the number one seed's still on the line. You gotta kick that extra point, man. Put some trust on your defense. But hey, Cowboys won this game. That's a big game for them. And you know what? They're a good team at home. Hopefully, the Niners can win these next two games. And if the 49ers win this game against Washington and Philadelphia takes a loss to the Arizona Cardinals, which I don't know if that's going to happen, 49ers can clinch as early as tomorrow. But if they don't, they can win out the next two games, right? Like we talked about, 49ers win the next two games, and they're the number one seed because they got a tiebreaker now over Dallas, Detroit, and Detroit, again, they sunk today. So they're down in the loss column. They got 5 losses. And Philly, it's really coming down to the 49ers and Philly for that number one seed. 49ers win out, we good, baby. And that's all it takes. Just win out. They got a game against the Commanders. They got to handle business. You can't look ahead. And then you got a game against LA. So they can do this, baby. The 49ers can absolutely get this number one seed. I don't know if the Eagles are going to lose. So get it done this week and then get it done next week and take care of business. Because you can't count on the Eagles to lose to Arizona. You can't count on the Eagles to lose to the Giants. The 49ers have to handle their own business and win out. Bottom line. But the good news is they're at least guaranteed the number 2 seed. They're at least guaranteed the number 2 seed. Jimmy says the guy reported it to the official. Yeah, Laporta. I mean, the ending was crazy. There was like 3 penalties. There was the extra point or the 2-point conversion, then a penalty, then a penalty. That ending was just so silly. Like, honestly, if I'm Detroit and all that happened, I'm kicking the extra point because there's so much going on. There's so much, again, the law of probability and statistic tells me I better just take the extra point. But again, it is what it is. The 49ers benefit from all of this. And the 49ers are sitting on top of the world. They're number one seed, guys. We are the number one seed. The 49ers, the number one seed, handle business against Washington. You got to love it. Now, I didn't go live earlier. I was busy today, but let's talk about it. The 49ers, they made some call-ups today. They called Eric Harris and Tay Martin to the active roster from the practice squad. We all know they've had a safety issue, right? Logan Ryan's going to start at safety, but now you bring in Eric Harris, the veteran that you got, a couple weeks ago. You bring him into the roster. Tay Martin's going to be there. There's going to be no Juwan Jennings. Danny Gray, who opened up his practice window this week, was not cleared to play this week, so he's out. You need wide receivers, right? You got Ronnie Bell, the rookie. Ray McLeod's out, so this receiver group is kind of banged up. 49ers have a lot of injuries right now, so this is not going to be an easy win for the 49ers. A lot of their guys are banged up defensively, but I still feel the 49ers can come out and dominate against Washington. Now, the other thing is the 49ers are going to be going up against Sam Howell earlier in the week. This was crazy. So Sam Howell, earlier in the week, he was benched. He was benched for Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett had some hamstring tightness, so they were like, okay, he might be questionable to coming into this game. And then Jake Fromm got called up today. And then finally, the NFL or the Washington Redskins, or sorry, not the Redskins, the Commanders, Washington Commanders reported that Sam Howell, in fact, is going to start because Jacoby Brissett is hurt, the hamstring. So they went from benching Sam Howell to starting Sam Howell. You can't make it up, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make it up. Raphael, my man, the member, Raphael, says Howell is going to get sacked 6 times. He might get dog walked tomorrow. I'm telling you, Chase Young, I feel, is going to play with some absolute incredible, energy. I just feel that Chase Young is going to go crazy against Washington. Like, he might not tell you. He might be kind of playing coy, but I guarantee you Chase Young, this game for him is going to be so much of a revenge game. Like he's, I guarantee you, this franchise drafted him. There was always rumblings around, they're going to get rid of him and this and that. Maybe he's not up to par like they wanted when they traded him. There's a lot of negative reports on him. If I'm a player and my former team was like talking trash about me after I get traded, the next time I play him, I'm coming for blood. Or any job you have. If you go to a job, right, and then you leave because you hear like there's drama being talked about you behind the scenes, you're going to be a little irritated. You know what I mean? So I feel Chase Young's coming in with some just intense energy in this game. And I think that's going to help Nick Bosa. And I really think this defensive line is going to go crazy on Sam Howell. This guy's going to get cooked up. Defense is going to be on him. I know last week it wasn't a defensive performance that we wanted, but again, short field. They played on a short field against Baltimore. I don't think that's going to happen this week. I expect the Niners to come out, make a statement. And one thing I think people are forgetting, like I need to tell this to people because I've seen a lot of negativity in the comments this week, and just on Niner Twitter and all the Niner places, just in general. Not everybody, not all you guys, but I've seen a lot of negativity. People need to realize the Niners went from the number 1 seed to the number 1 seed. They're still the number 1 seed. Guys, they're still the number 1 seed. Number 1 seed. They were the number 1 seed going into Baltimore, and they're the number 1 seed after Baltimore. We're cooking, baby. And again, if they win and the Eagles lose, it's wraps. It's wraps. My man Raphael says, I was fortunate to talk to one of the 10 Charger fans that exist and told me great things about Joseph-Day. Shout out to Joseph-Day, Sebastian Joseph-Day. This was a great signing. End of the season. You can't get guys like this. You just don't get players that are this good. Sebastian Joseph-Day is a very good signing, especially this late into the season. We know Arik Armstead's got the plantar fasciitis. I don't know when he's coming back. I absolutely don't know when he's coming back. But again, the fact that they brought this guy in, he can come in. He'll learn the defense pretty quickly because he's a veteran. He's been a captain on the Chargers. Like, this guy is going to come in. We're not going to miss that much of a beat. Like, it might take him a week or so to get adjusted and acclimated to the 49ers defensive line, and where he needs to be in communication. But he knows the game. He understands the NFL because he's been in the league for many years. I'm super excited about the Joseph-Day signing. I agree with you, Raphael. Absolutely, he's going to be a problem in the D-line. I absolutely agree. I love that. Randy, my man. Randy, shout out to Randy, also a member. Appreciate you, Randy, man. This guy, always in the chat. Love my boy, Randy. Shout out. He says that the Cowboys tried to blow it. They tried their best to blow that game. Second down, incomplete pass, stop the time. Detroit marched down the field. But the Cowboys, they didn't blow. The ending was crazy. The ending to that game was crazy. Honestly, that game was kind of like, I was like, come on, pick it up. It was a defensive struggle. But that fourth quarter was insane. Shout out to them. Entertained me in the fourth quarter. So what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? LA Dodgers says, what is the offensive line going to look like in this upcoming game? Absolutely great question. Trent Williams is playing. I'm so happy about that. I think Feliciano will be there. Colton McKivitz, Jalen Moore won't be there. So if Trent gets dinged up, he's not going to be there, unfortunately, because he does have the concussion. I think Aaron Banks is questionable. I hope he can play, but if Aaron Banks doesn't play, it's going to be Spencer Burford. So that's going to be your O-line. You got Trent, Jake Brendel, Colton McKivitz. Those guys are guaranteed to be there. John Feliciano. I really like Feliciano this year. He's been stepping in, and I think he's done a great job when he's played. Now, again, the other side, you got Aaron Banks. He's questionable with the turf toe. If he doesn't play, Spencer Burford will be there. But I would expect them to put Feliciano on the left side and then Burford to keep him at the right side. So that's probably what the O-line is going to look like tomorrow. But good question. Susan says, I know we can clinch tomorrow, but doubt Philly loses to Arizona. I agree. I don't think Philly's going to lose to Arizona. I think that Philly's going to win, and it's going to come down to the last week where the 49ers play the LA Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles play the New York Giants. That's what I think is going to come down to. I think the San Francisco 49ers against the Giants is going to be the biggest game of the final week of the season, week 8 seed. And if the 49ers win, they get the number 1 seed. If the Rams win, they make the playoffs. That is going to be probably flexed to Sunday night. That's my opinion. That's my guess right now. If I had to make a guess, I think the Rams 49ers game is going to be flexed on Sunday Night Football because the NFL has not, made that schedule yet. They always like to keep that last week open. Can you imagine if the 49ers versus Rams game has that implication. 49ers, if they win the number 1 seed, if the Rams win, they're in the playoffs, and the Eagles get the number 1 seed. Like, that would be absolutely incredible cinema. The NFL loves to have the drama. They love to have games like that. I think that it's going to be the 49ers versus the Rams Sunday Night Football for all the marbles. And the Niners walk off Sunday Night Football as the number 1 seed. Can you imagine? Like, how hyped are you right now? That's my take on it. We'll see, though. Whoo! A Boogie says Puka and Kyron going to be a problem. You know what? We gotta not worry about them yet. Let's not worry about them, though. Omar says thoughts on the Rams and Puka. I think Puka, as much as I love CJ Stroud, I think Puka's just right there with him for Rookie of the Year, man. Puka's having a historical season. The guy nobody even drafted him high. He was very, untouted coming into this draft, and he has been a phenomenal receiver. I got a lot of respect for Puka Nacua. He's a monster, man. Excited. What number is Sebastian Joseph-Day wearing? 69. Nice. He's wearing the number 69. Christine says, we need Armstead. He's a big miss. Absolutely need Armstead. Not having Armstead in the middle has been critical. It's been very, very unfortunate not having Armstead in there. He's a good run defender. He's a captain on this defense. He's one of the leaders there. And I feel like without him, it's just been a gaping hole in that interior line. And then also Hargrave's been dealing with some hamstring injuries. So this D-line has been battered up. But you know what? You want to take these injuries now. You take them in stride now, because if you get to the playoffs and you don't have Armstead, and you're really screwed. So honestly, it sucks. But I think the 49ers, if they can hold on and win these next 2 games and they get that extra week to rest in the bye week, I think Armstead will be back and ready to go for the playoff run. But yeah, I agree, Christine. We absolutely need Arik Armstead. He's incredible, man. And a lot of people talk trash about Armstead and how he doesn't play much and he doesn't get stats and this and that and that. Guess what? Now people are realizing just how important Arik Armstead is to this defense. He's so valuable to this defense. People forget this guy is a quality defensive lineman, a tough run stuffer, but his feet, you got to fix those feet. Plantar fasciitis is rough. His wife's a doctor. Hopefully she can find something to cure those feet. I don't know. Gamer says, I hope Armstead is back by next Sunday. I hope so too. I just don't think it's going to happen. What's up, Jim Everett the Great? What's up, David McNiner? What's going on to everybody in the chat tonight? I got to say, what's up to everybody real quick as we continue the stream. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're close to 5K subscribers. Thank you guys for all the support. We're cooking. YouTube's growing. I love you guys. The Instagram is popping, but I'm happy to see the YouTube growth. I appreciate all the support here. I like the channel on the YouTube because it's a little easier to interact with people. So please keep on hopping on the YouTube and help me build this channel. But love you guys. And I can't wait for tomorrow. Let's see if there's a couple more questions here before we hop off. I'll probably go on Instagram for a minute. Niners will get the number 1, come back and win 3 straight. I mean, it's probably going to happen. The 49ers get the number 1 seed and they can go on a big roll. I think that the game against the Ravens, again, it was an unfortunate loss, but I think it was needed. You can recalibrate yourself. You get to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what do I need to not lose again? What do I need to do to win? Because after this game, after that Ravens game, the Niners need to go on a run. You can't lose anymore, basically. The playoffs come, they know they can't play the way they just played against the Ravens. If they want to win a Super Bowl, they can't play that way. They cannot let teams come in and punch them in the mouth. And I think it starts tomorrow against Washington that they have to assert their dominance. And again, they're still the number 1 team in the NFC. They're still the best team in the NFL, other than the Ravens right now because they beat them. But if you look at this team top to bottom and you look at any other roster on the team in the NFL, can you legitimately sit there and tell yourself that these teams can beat the 49ers, right? Not many teams. The AFC North, they got a chokehold on the 49ers. So 49ers need to figure out how to play the AFC North because other than the Steelers, all the teams in the AFC North beat them. And it's very likely that one of those teams will play the 49ers if the 49ers can get to the Super Bowl. So figure out how to play those teams. They were dangerous for the 49ers. The Browns, And Joe Flacco, the greatest story of the NFL this year. Crazy. The Steelers, Niners beat them. The Bengals, they're still low key in the hunt. They beat the Niners, but again, they don't have Joe Burrow, who cooked the Niners. And then the Ravens. I mean, they just look dominant against the 49ers. So, other than that, the 49ers have been cruising, and then a weird loss to Minnesota. We're not even going to count that one. Hope they activate Verrett, says Raphael. I think they will. I'm pretty sure they'll get him cooking. Let me see. Joe Flacco looking too good. He really is. Joe Flacco's looking great. Is Sam Howell more of a problem than Brissett? I mean, Brissett's a quality quarterback, but he's nothing special. I think Sam Howell, he's kind of one of those gunslinging guys, but he's very susceptible to making interceptions and turnovers. So I don't think either of those guys are much of a threat, but Sam Howell could sling it. He slings the ball. He throws the ball. That's a guy that's not afraid to take shots. So in terms of throwing the ball, yeah, Sam Howell's probably better than Jacoby, but he's been inconsistent, and he throws a lot of interceptions. That's probably why he was getting benched, and they wanted to see what Brissett can do and, ride out the rest of the season, but he messed up his hamstring, so unfortunate for them. Gamer says it sucked rooting for the Cowboys tonight, but the Niners need that first seed. Honestly, I did not root for the Cowboys. I was just rooting for a good game. I kind of was rooting for Detroit. I'm going to be honest with you. I was kind of rooting for Detroit. I didn't want to see Dallas win, but I was happy with the result. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not mad that the Dallas Cowboys won, because now the 49ers, their path to the number 1 seed is very much easier. So my man Throwback says Dallas can't run the ball and stop the run. And that is the problem that they face when they play the Niners. They cannot stop the run. They can't run the ball. They could not run the ball effectively against the 49ers. They just couldn't. And then Dak Prescott was pressing too much. The defense got to him, and he threw interceptions. And they could not stop CMC. So not worried about Dallas. I know they're playing really good football. They're great at home. They're great at Dallas. But they're not a good team away from Dallas. So if they have to play in Levi Stadium, you know what's probably going to happen. Eagles, I'm not too worried about them. I feel like the 49ers have kind of broke them. I feel like ever since the 49ers beat them, they just have not been this dominating team. Now, again, playoffs come, anything can happen. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Niners are going to cruise to the Super Bowl, but I'm not as worried as I once was, because we saw what the 49ers could do against the Eagles in Philly with Brock Purdy. He dominated. So, but it is going to be fun. These playoffs are going to be fun. My man Tej Beats, what's good? He says, high key, don't want to play Dallas again if the playoffs feel iffy. A lot of people were telling me that tonight after this game. People are worried about Dallas. I know they're peaking. They're playing good football. You just never know. When you play a team so many times, they figure you out. I get it. And the whole Micah Parsons laugh now, cry later, that whole thing. I don't know. I do think the 49ers and Dallas have a very high likelihood of playing again in the playoffs. And it's going to be a battle. But again, like he said, when you see a team so many times, over the course of the years, the games get a little closer. You figure a team out. You know their tendencies. So I can understand the fear that a lot of Niner fans have. I get it. What's up, Throwback? Jedi says, Campbell choked. He passed up points after points for the 4th down glory. Deserved the L. F you, Dallas. Thanks for keeping the miracle alive. I agree. That's what I said earlier. I get it. He was gutsy. He wanted to go for the gutso, be the hero, and be the guy on, after the game, Sports Center. Oh, Dan Campbell, he's got so much guts. Oh my God. That's what he wanted to do. But you just don't do that in that situation. You got to take the point. After the fact of the 2-point conversion, and it missed, and that sucked. I get it. That really sucked that they got, the penalty and everything happened. Take the points, man. Take the points. Because, again, you got to play the odds. You got to take the probability and statistics in your favor. But I don't know. What am I? I guess I'm a math nerd. And if I'm studying statistics and math tells me you're probably not going to get the 2-point conversion after you just successfully converted the 2-point conversion. Because what do? You're in the red zone. And how hard is it to score in the red zone? That's why teams, some teams don't win games because they struggle in the red zone with their offense. You're literally in a red zone situation. It's not easy. So take the points. I agree with you, Jedi. Take the points, man. My man Boogie says, The Lions DBs were getting cooked by CeeDee, probably why he went for it. Probably, you're probably right. He probably didn't have any faith in his secondary because CeeDee Lamb, he carried a lot of players, a lot of people's fantasy teams tonight. If you had CeeDee Lamb in your fantasy playoffs tonight or this week, if you're in the fantasy playoffs and the championships this week, you might want to gift CeeDee Lamb a present. You might want to send him a nice DM because this man, he might have won a lot of leagues this year. He might have just won a lot of leagues this week. Tonight, CeeDee Lamb just went crazy. He definitely went off. He went off. If you had CeeDee Lamb in your lineups tonight, congratulations on your trophy. Congratulations on your fantasy trophy. Nice, cool 2K. I mean, dude, 200 yards. He set the Dallas Cowboys, is it franchise record for receiving yards in a season, passing Michael Irvin. That's crazy, man. I don't like the Cowboys, but respect to CeeDee Lamb. I got him on my fantasy team, so I'm happy. Cosmo says, who's a better receiver, Aiyuk or Lamb? I mean, I always think that Ayuk's better. You know, he's the route receive. He's the better route runner. But you put Aiyuk on a team like the Dallas Cowboys, where CeeDee Lamb is the pretty much bona fide number one true top threat, and I think Aiyuk would at least have the same yards, right? I mean, look at what Aiyuk does as the fourth option sometimes on the 49ers. Although he's kind of ramped up and become not necessarily the fourth option anymore on the 49ers. But Aiyuk is special, but CeeDee Lamb's good. CeeDee, they put him in the slot. I think they were talking about how they put him in the slot, and ever since they did, I think 7 games, this guy's had like over 900 yards receiving since he got moved into the inside. They can't stop him. But Brandon Aiyuk, he's a special receiver too. Great route runner, phenomenal in open space. So he's good. They're both great in their own ways. But CeeDee Lamb, you know, he's the undisputed number one option in Dallas. They go to him all the time. Now, if Brandon Aiyuk was in that situation, I'd imagine he put up the same stats as CeeDee Lamb. So, and his stats are not far from it. He's got 1,000 yards receiving, right? He's a great receiver. So put Brandon Aiyuk as a number one receiver on a team and be the bona fide top threat. He'd probably have the same amount of, like, guaranteed he'd have the same stats at least. But my man 49er Midas says, I be sipping gold bar, whiskey on the rocks. What's good, my boy? Because we faithful to the Bay. My man says, good thing the Cowboys won for us. LOL, go Niners. It helped us out, and that's all we care about is the 49ers because we're faithful to the Bay, you know, and we want this team to get that number one seed. The importance of the number one seed is they get that extra rest, and they got some players that are banged up. You can get your players back and get them in shape. Now, I know Fred Warner earlier this week says, you know, it doesn't necessarily matter if you get the one seed if you're playing like trash. And I understand it. If you're playing like trash and you're the number one seed, it doesn't matter. But any given Sunday, your team can lose. So I hope the Niners get the one seed. I want to see them get healthy. I want to see Arik Armstead back. I want to see Jair Brown. I want to see this team fully healthy because if the 49ers are fully healthy, nobody is taking them down, in my opinion. Now, I could be wrong, but I like their odds at home. I like their odds at Levi Stadium more than I like the 49ers odds anywhere else. We've seen it year after year after year. The 49ers are on the road. They have to travel somewhere. They just run out of gas, and they can't win in the playoffs. So we'll see. My man Russell says his daughter surprised him with the late Christmas present. What did she give you? Did she give you Niner tickets? I hope she did. What was the percentage of 49er fans? Let me see. 49er fans at the game tomorrow. You know, I didn't see that this week. I'm sure it's a pretty high percentage. I'm sure the 49ers have taken over Washington, but I did not see any stats this week. I didn't look it up, but I would suppose it's at least 60% Niner fans take over every stadium. I mean, it's just home games everywhere. The Arizona game I went to was literally a home game. Literally a home game. Clinton says we are banged up. Absolutely, and that's why I think it's important to get the number one seed. Let's go. My man Russell, have fun at the game. He said his daughter got him 2 tickets since he lives in the DMV. Going to the Washington game. My man, enjoy the game. That's dope. It's fun to go to the games. Road games are special. I like road games. I did the road game to Arizona this year. Great experience. I like going to the other fans or going to the other stadiums and witnessing that and experiencing that. So Next year, I'll be definitely going to a road game. Not sure which one, but I love to travel. So I'll definitely go to another road game next year. The year we went to, was it 2021, where they went to Dallas, Green Bay, and then LA? I went to Dallas and LA. That playoff run was fun. We were supposed to go to Green Bay, but our whole crew wasn't able to go. So I couldn't go by myself. I was like, I'm not going to go to Green Bay by myself and freeze and probably die of hypothermia. I wish I would have went because it was a great game, but I live to see another day. I'll definitely go to another road game next year. But have fun, my man. Enjoy it. Clinton says he's nervous for this game. No margin for error. Yeah, the 49ers, they cannot mess up. You cannot piss this game away. I agree. You cannot throw this. You cannot throw this away. The 49ers have been gift wrapped. They literally have the number 1 seed in their hands. Just don't fumble it. Do not fumble this. They're sitting here. Please do not Kyle Williams. I know I shouldn't have said that name. Please do not K-dub this opportunity. That's all I got to say. I agree with you. You cannot fumble this opportunity. Oh, man. My man Flood says, are you still going to the Rose Bowl game? Absolutely, Flood. I will be at the Rose Bowl game. I can't wait. After the game tomorrow, we'll be headed to LA, and I'll be there on Monday for the Rose Bowl game. Bro, this is going to be my first Rose Bowl. I'm excited. I'm hyped up. I can't wait to see my man Harbaugh versus Saban, Alabama, Michigan. It's going to be a fun one, man. I can't wait. So if you're there, I know you said you're there. Let me know. Say what's up. We'll take a pic. We'll say what's up. Meet before the game, man. I hope Michigan takes that dub. But yeah, we'll do a couple more questions. I'm gonna call it a night here on YouTube. But appreciate you guys for hopping in. Cosmo says I'm looking for the Eagles to lose to the Cardinals. I think we all are, man. I hope they do too. My man, the Shaw Show. What's good? This old 49er media. What's up, boy? He said, hey, Raj, hope all is well. Hope you had a great Christmas. Likewise, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good time, and I hope you're doing well also, my man. And I hope you have a Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a Happy New Year. So, my man, Esther Young says, if Big Dom comes to Levi's, we should throw food at him. He'll probably eat it all up. Oh, man. Russell says, the Cards can run the ball, and we know the Eagles are against the run. Just saying. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to lie. I think the Cardinals are going to give them everything they can. They're a tough out. That's not an easy team to beat. Like, I know the Cardinals have a bad record, but they're gritty. They play hard. That's a team that really fights. So I think that the Cardinals are going to give them all they can. You know, they're a team that doesn't want to go out with a fight. Like, they gave the Niners everything they could handle. They threw everything at us. And you know what? Respect to the Cardinals, because they're not going to, like, lay down. They're still competitive. They still have football players that want to try. And even if they lose, respect the fact that they're going out with a fight. So I hope they give the Eagles everything they have tomorrow. Throw the kitchen sink at them, man. So Jocelyn says, how many touchdowns will Angry Debo have tomorrow? I got him for at least 1 touchdown, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes more than 1. I just wouldn't be surprised. Like, I feel that Debo is going to go. He's going to go like Tasmanian Devil style, like my man Bash always says. I like how Bash from 49er Minded, we always go live on Fridays, and he always uses the reference of saying that Debo Samuel plays like the Tasmanian Devil. And I can never, like, get that out of my head. I think that's the type of game Debo's going to have. He's been having that this whole month, touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. He's kind of taken over games, and now he's pissed off. He's pissed off at Cam Newton. He's pissed off at Michael Parsons. He's pissed off at the NFL. And when Debo Samuel is pissed off, he has a big game. So we'll definitely see. I think Debo has a touchdown. I think Brock Purdy's going to have 4 touchdowns, guys. I think Brock Purdy bounces back. He's going to go ham on these Washington Commanders. I think he is. I'm excited. Check it out. I have the 49ers. We talked about it yesterday. Again, real quick, I'm going to drop my prediction. 38-10, 49ers, Brock Purdy, 4 touchdowns. Chase Young, Nick Bosa, all over Sam Howell. And Logan Ryan is getting a pick. Logan Ryan's getting a pick. Raphael says, Purdy will feed Kittle Kittle is going to get 1,000 yards receiving tomorrow. He needs 9 yards, and this will be his 3rd season that he gets 1,000 yards receiving if he does it tomorrow. If he doesn't get 9 yards, I don't know what to tell you. I'm pretty sure Kittle's going to have 9 yards tomorrow, 1,000 yards. Shout out to George Kittle, man. This guy has been an amazing player for the 49ers over his career. I'm happy to have watched him over all these years. He's played consistent football despite having different quarterbacks almost every single year. He blocks like nobody's business. He's unselfish. He's a captain. He's got an amazing personality, and we know how good he is in the passing game. And I'm so happy Brock Purdy's the quarterback because he can actually use George Kittle to his full extent. I love George Kittle, man. So I think he'll have a good game. Brock Purdy's going for 4 touchdowns. Niners taking care of business. Let's hope that the Arizona Cardinals can do us a favor. You guys have a good rest of your night. Make sure you smash the like button. Go Niners. I got to wake up early. I'm going to go hop on Instagram for like 10 minutes, get ready for bed because we got an early game tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'm going to have bags under my eye. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have coffee hooked up to my IV. But it's all worth it because we got to watch a dub tomorrow. You guys have a blessed night. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Let's go Niners. Let's get this dub. Bang, bang. Niner gang.